My name is Naitiemu. I'm from Kenya and I'm a visual artist. I work as a material artist, production artist and performance artist. And my work looks at the intersection of nature and culture to tell stories around mental health, awareness, understanding the mind, understanding female consciousness, understanding our relationship with the universe and our interconnectedness as humans. And I find that really interesting to integrate different concepts. So I work with different materials, both physical and digital. I worked on collages as well as videos, as well as installations to bring this concept of a shared humanity. So for my project with Deconfining, I want to extend my research and study of the importance and impact of herbs and indigenous trees, indigenous knowledge to the entire ecosystem. I want to look at herbs as a holistic way of approaching everything holistically. So herbs that's connected with our spirituality, it's connected with our health, it's connected with the interconnectedness as humans, and also the role that women have played as healers for the community, and the controversial way of approaching herbs. Because the thing with herbs is that the thing with medicine in general is that it's been now in the contemporary world very patriarchal, yet when we look back at the history, there was a very nurturing connection that was from the woman's side. It was the women who are healers, and for some reason in between the line, we lost that connection, and that has really affected our approach to health as a holistic approach. And so I want to dig deep and see what is the connection that women have played since the past, because in my country, in my community, in the Maasai community where I come from, the healing has always been through the herbs, and the women have played a great role in that. So comparing it with here and seeing how we can find a connection to that, and how we can find a connection with our past, present and future through that holistic approach to herbs. And the politics behind it as well, like what has been controversial, how has that affected how we handle the situations, for example, with issues around contraceptives, issues around abortion, and yeah, the strength that the herbs gives the woman and how that has been taken away from her in some aspects. Absolutely. I found that there is such a deep connection with how people in the indigenous Poland community had a connection with the herbs. So herbs have been used with the teas, make teas with infusions, with incense, and rituals surrounding that. The spiritual aspect of how herbs has been part of the culture. And I'm curious to find how people have a relationship to that now. I know it's ingrained mostly in the culture from the past, but also there's a growing interest in going back to our roots, just as the way from my community there's a growing interest in going back to our traditions, because we realize that for us to have the future we want, we have to understand the past and see how that connection inspires our connection with the future. So that also inspired my take on the particular theme, particular topic on herbs. I'm happy to say that from the first day I started exploring the city, I was really inspired because I saw a lot of people who are working with herbs, like people who are working with the essential oils, people showcasing scented candles, incense, and then the most beautiful thing that happened yesterday is that I met a herbalist called Bieta and her daughter Amelia, who introduced me to a deeper way in which they handle herbs, and we showed me some rituals that they do around the herbs, the importance of the herbs, the collections that they have. And what was really amazing was that it stopped just being a physical object and became something more transcendent because of everything that surrounds it. And she was showing me how she heals people, and by understanding their story and understanding the energies that come from that. And I find that really empowering, because we sometimes move away from the, I feel like now with our modern society, we are moving away from the intangibility. It's like you have to see something physical to understand it. But for how she showed me is that it goes beyond that physical object and goes into the connections from within. And that really inspired me. I want to have more conversations, see how she's been able to understand that through herself, and carry that on in the future. Yeah. First, I gotta say, I'm happy that we finally got here, despite the many challenges we've had. Okay, the challenge I've had was with the visa application, basically, because it was really difficult to get. Basically, I went for my appointment and they were reading my barcode and saying my barcode isn't working. And I'm like, yo, I got this from your website. How is it not working? And I had to go back and forth, trying to get these papers to work. When I finally got it to work, it was closed and we had to really struggle to get another appointment. And so we were basically getting our visa, me and Moses, on the same day that we're meant to travel. We didn't even know we were gonna get the visa. So we're there in the morning, going to the embassy, and she was like, just wait for me outside, I'll get back to you about this. I don't know. We sat there until 12 p.m. and that's when she came and she's like, okay, it's gone through. We're like, we're gonna be traveling tonight, so let's go and finally make this happen. And we got here and it's been beautiful. I've gotta say, this city is beautiful. Like, it just made all that like feel like it's nothing compared to what we've been able to get here. The people, they're so warm. I've been received with such warmth, such like we're together in this, and the city is beautiful, and the vibe, the weather is amazing as well. And yeah, just the people, for me, the people have just made this place so warm. And I'm so grateful, honestly, so grateful to be here. The creativity, it's inspiring. I've seen so many creative stuff. And, you know, just the expression in the city, there feels to be so much energy, like with how you walk around and you see the graffiti, you see the artwork, and it feels so intense, like there's so much expression. And I'm so curious to understand also more stories around the history and what people feel, the vibe that they have around here. So I'm excited. So I feel like if I compare Poland to my home, it feels natural. It feels like it's come really naturally because of the warmth that I've received from people. People are not shy to say hi. They're not shy to just. We've been having food where we've gone, and it's like, eat, guys, eat. Feel, you know, this is for you, you know. And that's how we do it at home. Is that when someone comes to visit, you give them food, you give them warmth, you give them that feeling of like, we understand you're from a different place and we just want you to feel as much as home as possible. And that's what I felt here, and it's been beautiful. When I compare, let's say, with maybe the feeling I had when I was in London, for instance, it's a bit different because I feel I didn't really get a chance to interact. People are not as open, I'd say. As you walk around, no one's really like bothering to feel like they can talk to you in a way. So I feel that maybe felt a little bit different from my previous travel. So yeah, I guess, I mean, both places are beautiful, but I guess the people make it different. Yeah. Yes, I want to show how much we are connected as humanity. I want to show that we have more similarities and the differences only make us stronger. It's not about the division, it's about looking at diversity as something beautiful, and how interconnected we are. We are one, we are like part of nature, and we are people, we have love, we have the same elements that bring us together everywhere in the world. That's what matters. It's not about the division. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at celebrating our differences and highlighting all the similarities we have, because we're all human and we're all part of nature, and everything that surrounds us, you know, not just humanity. All life forms are together. Yeah. I feel like through this project, I am trying to also decolonize our approach to everything that surrounds nature, decolonize the history as well, because I feel like the fragments that was put through colonization really caused a lot of division, a lot of separation, and not understanding the togetherness we have with each other, with nature. And through this project, I wanna decolonize that and see that from the beginning, there are these elements that brought us together. And through herbs, for instance, it's something that is innate to all of us. So I feel looking at trees, looking at also like the importance now with the changes we have in the climate change, etc. All these issues need to be addressed to bring us together. So I feel that brings this topic. Yeah, I would really love to capture the landscape, the sounds, because I feel like we are connected with where we come from, and the elements that bring us here tell stories even from the past. So I'd love to take some time to observe, collect stories from people, collect stories from the landscape here, and visit historical spaces as well, learn about the history of you know, this place, just learn about the people as well, and be able to understand this place, Wrocław, Poland, and by extension just the humanity we share as well.